What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Ichi the Witch Hunt 51. Hey, yo, this is a really good chapter. It has me excited for this next arc that we about to get into, man. But make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. So we do get this cover page. It's not in color, but I think it would have been so amazing to see in color. But you got all of Team Des on this page. It looks amazing. It looked like they're all just pretty much free falling. And then we get to the first page and we see that Goku has been restored back to normal. He says his arm grew back. You got it where everyone's looking, they're all fascinated by it. And I'm like, yo, oh man, I want to see what type of modifications this guy had. And you have it where he says like, yeah, they repaired my arm. They gave me gave me new legs. You know, they even put like lasers in my eyes. Like he's talking about all the new stuff that he's capable of doing. Like he's able to shoot missiles from his arm, flamethrowers from his leg. You got him saying all this new stuff. Of course, Dad said they took their sweet little time. And that's when he goes to say, well, you know, they had a lot of material to use, a lot of stuff I was asking them to do to make me better than ever. And you have it where the lady, who's in charge of that department pops up and says like, yo, stop making up lies. You didn't have all those type of attachments. So I'm very curious because I'm pretty sure he has got some attachments, but we just don't know what those attachments are. But anyway, you got it where they get these new like magic hoverboards and they look amazing. You know, I just want to see those be utilized like to be dodging enemy attacks. I can't wait to see it. But you see they got these new hoverboards. Ichi gets on one. And they pretty much say you got to channel your magic into the board to get it to move. It might be a little hard to get used to at first, but over time you will get good with it. And then you see right off the bat that Ichi is a natural with it. He's doing all types of tricks and flips and stuff in the air. And you got it with Komugi. She's having a little bit of trouble using it. And, you know, they're saying like, yeah, you know, you got to have a strong amount of magic to use it. And that's when Komugi says, well, I do have strong magic. You know, I could ride that little buggy she was on at the beginning of the series, but they said apparently that drains a lot of magic. These boards are more efficient than that. So you have it where she's going to have to ride along with Dez because of her not being able to utilize this board. But then you have it where Goku, he's actually on it as well. He's using the board. And they just said you needed magic in order to utilize this board. So I wonder if one of the things they did to him was to actually give him you know, a link to his own magic or gave him magic in some type of way that we're not aware of, because they say only people with magic can utilize these boards. And then you have it where Goku, who's a male that isn't a witch, also utilizing this board. So I'm very curious, how is that working? Is it that he just has a little bit of magic? Is it one of the tools that allow him to do it? I'm very curious how this is actually going down. And then you have it where Ichi walks past and you see a broom mounted to the wall. You have it where the lady tells him like, yeah, that's stuff they used to use to travel back in the day. Now it's just pretty much seen as a relic. You know, the brooms choose their masters. And you have it where Ichi says like, yo, this is a thing of beauty. And I feel like that's foreshadowing. We're going to see Ichi at some point with this broom. This broom is going to come to his aid, or either he's going to grab it at some point in time and he's going to start utilizing it. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just the vibe I'm getting just because of how long they harped over this broom, this magic broom. But next thing you know, you have it with the Oracle. She shows up and she's actually in her human form. And she says that she's going on a mission with Ichi. She's going on the next mission with Ichi. And that right there already sounds kind of fishy to me. You have it where everyone on Team Dash, they're very surprised about it. And then you have a bit of a flashback where she actually goes to, I believe her name is Gold something. I can't think of her exact name, but the leader of the witches, and says that her next prophecy that she's seen was her accompanying Ichi on his next mission so that he could acquire his the next magic. And of course she's lying about it, but she just wants to confirm for herself if Ichi is truly a messiah, because if he is, you know, it might help in her decision to see what side that she needs to choose. And of course, they find out that they're sending him after the magic that controls time. And that right there already got me excited for this next chapter. You have it where the Oracle says everyone who's ever went to go face that, you know what I'm saying, that magic has failed. they've all been, you know, either taken out or just lost the battle in general. And he says, like, you know, there are several legendary magics that witches have attempted and failed to acquire. Of course, we see the World Hater and the one that your boy Ichi acquired first. So they say also the time magic is one of those. They said it can be found in the seas where the water is at its worst. So they're going to use these hoverboards to get to that location. And you have it where all of them are surfing on the boards. Like I said, in this final panel, they're all surfing on the boards. You got Ichi on a board. You got, like I said, Goku's on a board. Daz is on a board. She's also carrying Kamugi. And then you got, you know, the Oracle on a board of her own. And they're going to this ghost ship, CHRONO-STASIS. And that's how the chapter actually ends. So like I said, Goku is on a board, and I'm very curious, how did he manage to get on this board? Like, is it a magic tool? Does he have magic now? Does he have the ability to acquire a magic beast? I'm just really curious about that, and I hope we get answers at some point in time. But all in all, amazing chapter. Loved it from start to finish. Let me know your thoughts. I know this is a bit of a quick one, but you know what I'm saying? I'm on vacation. I'm sorry, yo. But hopefully you liked the video. Thumb it up, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.